now you got to see just a small, tiny area of Ischia. And maybe later on I'll share some more. But returning to our topic on water and its lovely purifying and re-energizing elements, and that's for our body, our mind, our hearts, the essence of life and love that we all are. Some people, we use that word soul, spiritual, spirit, right? And really, when you look at the spiritual community, for those of us who do not have a division, so we don't divide based on religious stuff or based on ancient textbooks, like for me, I bring in all of it. And I learned from Sadhguru a lot on the spirituality front when it comes to yogis, but I begin my life with Christianity, Catholicism, so I know about the Holy Spirit and spiritual gifts. And so here's where, again, integrating spirituality and sciences, that's why I'm the lovely pseudoscience lady, and your lovely 5D mystic, life coach, personal development, and for the 5D mystic and anyone on a spirituality awakening journey, it is returning home, as we have been discussing throughout the year in a lot more focus. It's returning home to the inner child of you as the adult. So those fragments, that inner child, and you being able to use your prefrontal cortex, all things that are achievable if you choose to heal trauma, if you choose to take seriously your human life, which is in fact how you return, quote unquote, back to life, meaning that if there is unhealed trauma, those are the fragments that a person overall is missing. And it is unfortunate that people will demonize and romanticize still because of stigma, psychopathy, sociopathy, narcissism. We also have our group of borderline personality and anyone who is behaving with an adaptive child part and or maladaptive child part and pattern of behavior. So the fucking, the drinking, the drugging, those are maladaptive child pattern behaviors that stem from that first 3 years of your life. So when people say, I find it hard to believe, Maria, the first 3 years of life, well, you're all implicit memory the first years of your life. The first year, only a right mode of the brain is online, so everything that comes up, if you can contain it, as Peter Levine presents, then you will be able to be self-aware, accountable, and that means you're ready to self-regulate. But if you don't have your self-lens, so if you don't know what attachment category you are, if you don't know if you have borderline or narcissism, if you don't know that there are good therapists who let you know about EMDR, child parts work, somatics, so that you can go from dysregulated, modulated embodied self and a nervous system that didn't learn regulation safely, no safe haven, secure base, at least one caregiver in the first year of life to have a whole self. And so that's why, besides water, and the spiritual topic of water is important from not only its purifying agents, and seawater is amazing. I mean, I am biased though. In my lifetimes I've seen that I was a mer person. And that's with my oversoul too. In fact, pirates, mer people, it's really fun to be a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, which is very different for the 4D. So 4D and 3D, they have a role, which is why, as that lovely Dalai Lama quote goes, when he's challenged by this human being who says, how dare you smile in the face of all the suffering? And the Dalai Lama says, I'm not smiling because of the suffering. I'm smiling because some of us have the responsibility to share life and joy, or laughter and joy, something like that. And it's not a direct quote. This is where Dr. Daniel Siegel, lovely Dr. Dan, who I learned about interpersonal neurobiology, I learned about how attachment in the lifespan works, how DID is healable and disorganized attachment. And he's only one of the greats that I have met online. Then we have Dr. Daniel Fox. He's an expert in personality disorders, and he helps anyone with BPD and NPD to know they're human and that they can use their mindset with that sense of self and that lens to minimize those maladaptive child patterns, which are unnecessary but that are hard to break. And so healthy self-worth, partners, and all people in life are what a person who wants to return home to their inner child will want to seek out, which is where our lovely IHP community comes in. As functional adults, we use a love language that involves, hey, let me tell you about my thoughts and my feelings as a differentiated self while respecting your thoughts and feelings, which is why religious or spiritual or mystics, we won't be people who are against each other based on what the left mode brainers is what I talk about or call those non-bilaterally integrated. So when we have Pinocchios in town, well, they have Peter Pans, and the Pinocchios and Peter Pans are all lost boys, lost girls, lost days, who did not go searching for that something sacred that was lost, which is the heart. And so they will talk to you about the same topics, water and its purifying agents, and they will talk to you about a lot of different topics, but in the absence of letting you in on the number one thing that your spirituality journey involves is when you overflow with humanity. Thank you, Sadhguru, for the quote, divinity descends. It's you, integrated brain, restorative embodiment, self-aware person, accountable and self-regulating in your mammalian heritage, which we all can do when we meet secure attachments, partners, and people in life, which is what, again, self-help comes when you're ready to be more like the Jesus that I learned about with unconditional love. We forgive because it's automatic. I'm flawed, you're flawed. I'm imperfect, you're imperfect, but we can speak to each other like functional adults do. What I think, what I feel, what I would like us to negotiate on, and we don't block and unfriend. That's the adaptive child. We'll be back with more. In the meantime, I'm running out of time, but I hope you enjoyed the little clip and a little bit of chit chat. Tune in for more and have a great one.